The idea of paying more money for legitimate CDs, DVDs, and other goods could take a long time for Chinese consumers to get used to. These days, sharing and downloading files online has never been easier.
I seldom buy real DVD or albums. I always download them from the internet, but I buy real ones when they are not on the internet.
But the problem isn't just an issue of convenience. Professor Chang Ping from Peking University says many people simply don't see downloading and sharing files online as a criminal act.
Once people know about the intellectual property rules, they need time to understand and digest them. In order to solve the piracy problem, we need to promote awareness about the issue. But this is not only a legal issue. The economic situation, culture, and people's mindset need to change as well.
In the latest attempt to fight online piracy, the government shut down several popular file-sharing websites earlier this month, including BerryCity.com and BT China, which form a major source of overseas movies, TV shows, and online games. The crackdown saw many internet users frantically trying to download as much as they could before their favorite sites were blocked. U.S. industry estimates show about 90% of U.S.-produced music, movies, and software found in China is pirated. Professor Chang argues that in a country where the average urban income is about $200 a month, the high cost of these products is partly to blame. But she says the issue of morality is a more telling factor.
Some parents might be willing to spend about $15 to eat at KFC or McDonald's, but they might not be willing to pay for an album, as they think it's not worth it. So we can't say this is a money issue.
But China Market Research Group Director Sean Rain disagrees. He argues China's piracy problem is a matter of poverty, not morality. In a recent article, he made the point that Japan and Korea also face the same rampant piracy problems until the people there got wealthier and started to demand action from the authorities. In the luxury goods sector, for example, the piracy situation over the last few years seems to have improved. A survey from Rain's research group shows a vast majority of people polled say they would buy genuine luxury products if they could afford it.
If I had the money, I would buy the real thing. Right now, I can't afford it, but I'm jealous of people who can buy these products.
But unlike luxury goods, the quality of pirated entertainment such as DVDs and CDs is often just as high, which makes it that much harder to sell the legal goods. Whether the problem is poverty or morality, though, both Rain and Professor Chang agree the piracy situation in China is improving.
The current situation is definitely getting better. In major cities, selling pirated goods is not so flagrant compared to a few years ago, and it's getting easier to buy legitimate products.
According to the Business Software Alliance, the software piracy rate in China has decreased from 90% in 2004 to 80% last year. That compares with 20% in the US, which is the lowest in the world. The progress is significant, but some say it's still not enough. Despite repeated anti-piracy campaign and an increasing number of intellectual property cases in Chinese courts, the U.S. says copyright piracy in China remains at unacceptably high levels, causing serious harm to American businesses. In an annual report, U.S. Trade Representative Ron Kirk blamed Beijing for not taking adequate steps to enforce intellectual property rights laws. The U.S. copyright industries estimate that losses due to piracy last year were about $3.5 billion for the music recording and software industries alone. Kirk says these figures indicate little or no overall improvement over the previous year. But Kirk's case took a massive step backwards earlier this month when U.S. software giant Microsoft, long an outspoken critic of piracy in China, was found to have stolen an estimated 80% of the code base for its new Amazon China microblock service from Canadian rival Plurk. Microsoft laid the blame squarely at the door of an unnamed third-party contractor. But the whole fiasco only served to underline how far the piracy issue still has to go in China. If one of the leading software providers can't clean up its act, what hope is there that anyone else will? Sylvia Gunawan, BON.